Story Part 2. This goes against what many people here have said about me not engaging with her. She could tell something was up with me and kept asking what was going on and what's bothering me. I finally broke and talked to her. I mentioned my specific concerns and told her that what's been happening is not okay and that it feels like lines and boundaries are being crossed. She seemed unfazed. She seemed offended that I would even think that something inappropriate was going on. She denied that they have been physical together. She said, "I've only been out till 2 a.m. with him twice." "Yeah, well that's too many times for me," I said. She seemed to refuse to even attempt to see it from my point of view, or an outside perspective. It's telling to me that so many other people could recognize that maybe even texting a coworker so much and worrying about his well-being after the drinking was crossing a line. My wife seems to refuse to believe that she's crossing lines. She refused to acknowledge that maybe what she's doing is wrong or actually hurtful. "He's like my best friend right now." "Yeah, well why can't I be that? I'm your husband. I know things are rocky and weird with us right now, but I'm trying to work on things and I can't help but feel there's stuff you're not telling me." All I want is for her to accept some responsibility and remorse. She kept saying, "What do you want me to do?" She kept pointing out that they really haven't been together too much or stayed out late more than twice. It just feels like we got nowhere. When I spoke with her and told her how hurt and uncomfortable her behavior with Mark is making me, she seemed unfazed. Her first reaction, rather than being sorry or concerned that I'm being hurt, was to say, "Well, what do you want me to do about it?" I shouldn't have to walk her through this. She's a very intelligent person. She should be able to see that maybe there's even just a slight chance that what she's doing would look bad to anyone looking from the outside in. She's blinded by whatever she's feeling and doing. She kept deflecting. I told her it made me uncomfortable that she was out till 2 a.m. drunk with him, that it was weird. She said, "Well, that's only happened twice." She noted that they've only been to 3 soccer game dates together. That doesn't matter to me. The amount of times doesn't matter. What matters is that now she knows how it is hurting me and that I told her I am not going to put up with it anymore. She should proceed accordingly. I told her that I want to be happy and I want to be with someone who makes me happy. I said I want her to be with someone she wants to be with also, and I don't want either of us to have to feel forced or like every day we have to try to conjure up feelings for the other person. She told me she loves me and wants to be with me. It felt hollow. I told her she seems completely emotionally invested in him and that there's no more room for me. I told her I feel like a roommate who sits around while she dates Mark. She kept saying we're just friends and I'm not even with him all that much. She denied any physical intimacy between them. She said that other coworkers have asked her if anything is going on between her and Mark. I asked her what does anything going on mean to her? She couldn't spell it out. I told her that I find it incredibly hard to believe that Mark, a single guy my age, has anything to gain from being just friends with a married woman. I told her that no matter how good of a guy she thinks he has certainly had the thought crossed his mind of what if? She denied that they talk about their feelings for each other. I don't believe it. I told her that if he knows about our marriage issues, then it makes it even more suspicious that he continues to hang around. It's like he's just waiting for the off chance we do break up so he can have her with no strings. I can't shake the feeling that she's lying to me. Something more has to be going on and she is trickle-truthing me. I feel gaslit. I feel crazy that I'm feeling so bothered and anxious by all this. I wish she'd show some ducking remorse or own up to it. I told her how I sat on telling her my true feelings about this for so long because I was being too considerate of her feelings and neglecting my own, but that I needed to protect myself going forward. I told her we need to tell each other the hard stuff that might hurt the other person and be ready to do so. I mentioned that I want to be open and honest and vulnerable with her and would expect the same from her. Even if she thinks it'll hurt me or I can't handle it, I want her to tell me. I am not going to talk to her about this again. There's no point. She seems unwilling to accept that she's in the wrong here and very plainly hurting a person she claims to love. I know I'm being naive and stupid and will get tons of comments telling me similarly, but I am struggling so hard to get my head and heart around the idea of snooping into her phone. Honestly, I've been curious. But despite the heartbreak she's causing me, it's really hard for me to pull the trigger on that. And even if I did and even if I found something damning, I think I'd have an even more difficult time figuring out how to best confront her with that information. I feel so down on myself that I feel this way. That I feel so stuck. That I've let myself get to this position. I can't stop thinking where I screwed up along the way. What's wrong with me? What can I change? How can I change? Why is this happening? I am so tired of all of this. Comment 1. So sorry, but you need to have a come to Jesus meeting with yourself. Stop being a doormat, stop the pity party and stand up for yourself. If you don't, who will? She is downplaying her involvement. If people at work have noticed, then there is more than meets the eye. If you have come to this page, your gut is telling you, you need to pay attention. You only need to take action if you want to save your marriage. If you think it is a waste of time saving it, then walk away. Otherwise, you need to do your research. Find out what exactly is going on now, before it goes further. Only you can decide if your marriage is worth saving. If you wait, it could be too late. If you're not up to going through her phone, then hire a PI. Comment 2. I believe you are a lawyer. Have a friend here in the States that is one. I remember a case he had. He was second chair in a capital murder case. His job, as you know, is to help his client. Problem was, of the 4 people involved, 3 of them, including his client, confessed on tape. I believe you are in a similar situation. Your wife has all but confessed, and there is very little you can do but damage control. Do you know an alcoholic? Ask one what it take to stop drinking. Everyone will tell you they had to want to. Your wife does not want to stop cheating. If people in the workplace are calling her out and she's at till 2 a.m., yes, she is cheating. If you just need to prove it to yourself, hire a PI. Quickest and most efficient way. What to do? Divorce or work it out. Either way, she's not wanting to admit anything, and like an alcoholic, she has to admit she has a problem. Ever hear of an intervention? Have seen people confronted after showing up drunk at work. Really hard to explain why you don't have a problem. Do the same to your wife. Get your proof. Send it to our department, let them deal with the 2 of them. Does not matter if she is fired, since she needs to cut contact. If she is fired, it will be a wake-up call where she has to face what she is doing. Be prepared, because everything going forward will be your fault. Deflection, shifting, you name it. Legally, you know where you stand. Get the paperwork started. Another wake-up call for her. A afterthought. You have said she considers friends closer than family. What are they saying? Show them the proof when you get it. If they are true friends, maybe they can help. Comment 4. It sounds like, on top of an affair in every sense of the word, she is willing her mind to completely set you aside. In my first marriage, my ex-husband did the same. We were married for 8 years, he cheated on me the entire time, off and on. I was young, attractive, an awesome cook, a good housekeeper, a great friend, and I focused most of my time and energy on him. Didn't matter. Anyway, when we got to the point that we were both nearly done with our marriage, he was a coward once more. After spending so many years crying over him, and trying to help him feel anything, the proof that was printed off that he would deny over and over, the savings I worked so hard to build, that he spent nearly $30,000 of, on S-time workers, I'm all for SW, and they cleaned up, but I was saving for a better future for my kid and I, and it was money I had made, and given him a substantial chunk of. After all of that, the wall went up for him. He all but completely shut me out, and left me floundering and in so much physical pain from the heartbreak and the constant fear and worrying, but refused to talk to me, to tell me why, to give me any answer. Even if he had said that I wasn't good enough, it would have been better than I honestly don't know. I'm stupid. Anyway, he made me fall apart, build myself back up, and find the courage to leave him. Every other time it had been threatened, he cried and begged, this time though he just sat there. No eye contact, no emotion. We lived together from September through March the following year, and told no one what was happening. I didn't want anyone talking me back into staying. We lived on different floors, he openly had time with other people and made sure I knew how happy he was. It was awful, but better than actually being with him. My daughter and I moved downstairs and he slept upstairs, and once I built up some of the savings he took from us, we left. He is currently in a 5-year-long relationship. He has cheated multiple times, and the walls are up. I can spot it a mile away. He's going to make her do all of the work too, because he is a coward. Don't let her put you in that position. She needs to act like an adult and own up to her shit. I'm so sorry this is happening to you, truly. Oh, one more thing, stick W that therapist. You're going to have a lot to navigate, and already have a better shot at emotionally healing. Also, move your money. I didn't take the sound advice of a friend when they told me to, and he took everything. Consult a lawyer. Keep records. I'm sorry for any typos, I am so tired that my eyes are rolling back in my head, but I had to get this response out. Comment 5. If, and this is a big if, she truly isn't aware for some reason that all this is called an emotional affair and can't seem to understand your point, and it has come down to the last straw, maybe as a final attempt to make her understand, you make her step into your shoes. You start doing the same thing she is doing, but only pretend to be having an emotional affair with a female while you hang out with your buddies and make up a fake character with whom you've been hanging out and texting. From what you've mentioned, honestly, it should be clear enough to any person what they're doing seems like an emotional affair if their own spouse and work colleagues are also asking about it. At the least, she should be giving a thought to it or visiting a therapist, because clearly she can't seem to gather her thoughts, as she is speechless when it comes to analyzing situations and coming to conclusions. Thanks you for watching Everyday New Movies. See you soon.